国会是一个很大的笑话，为什么呢？几天前他们说，电视不可以有直播，因为人民看到国会会影响他们的表演呢。有可能他们给的理由是对的，为什么？有可能他们不是在国会为民为国的议员，而是演员吧。Gilbert Goh, in his latest posting, wrote that I will try to confuse you about the water price increase. I don't think I can outdo the government in confusing you on the water price increase, but I will try my best. You know, Parliament is only telecast live once a year, only one time, and that is when they deliver the budget. So this is the only moment when Singaporeans can see the ministers. In fact, this, is a budget delivery. You can only see one minister, right, live. All the rest of the year, 364 days, is not live. And a few days ago, the reason given as to why Parliament cannot be broadcast live on TV is because it may affect the performance. The highest paid ministers in the world, the highest paid MPs in the world are afraid to be seen and heard by the people live because they are afraid that it will affect their performance. I am very hot. Give me some water. So on February 20th, in the afternoon, 3:30, this is my one chance in a year. Oh, I am honored. The water girl is none other than Han Hui Hui, the only Singaporean who was charged and found guilty for conducting an illegal demonstration at this very place, Hong Lim Park, the only place in Singapore where you can legally protest, and she was found guilty of having an illegal demonstration. Uniquely Singapore. I better put the bottle on the chair, otherwise I get excited, I will throw it and hit somebody. Then the next thing I know, I'll be charged also, right? For being a public nuisance or something. So, February 20th, I'm listening to the budget speech. Water price will be increased by 30%. Okay. I was holding my breath, waiting for some numbers to come out. Why you need to increase? Why 30%? Nothing. No costs, no revenues, no profits, no nothing. And of course, as they say, the rest is history. After the budget speech, everybody was talking. In the coffee shops, on the buses, everywhere, people were talking. The water price increase became the biggest issue, in my view, of any budget speech in the history of Singapore. And so, almost every other day, some minister will come out to defend the price increase. I think it was the day or 2 days after, one minister said at a post-budget forum, somebody asked, will the water price increase be passed on by business to consumers? Will the price of your goods or your drinks, whatever, go up? The minister said, actually it should not or ought not increase, No wonder they are afraid of being shown live on TV. The kind of performance that we have. Another day or two later, another minister said, I have calculated the price increase that based on 5,000 cups of tea, the increase only 1 cent per cup of tea. So it's nothing. So when I look at that and I did the calculation, I say, hey, minister, you forgot. It's not just the water that going to the tea. You got to wash the cup. You got to wash the saucer. The person who give you got to go toilet. Then the price of water feeds or drops into everything. So everything will go up. Then one minister said, oh, don't worry, okay? If any business profiteer, you tell us, okay? You tell us in the history of Singapore, has it ever worked whenever you tell people to tell you that the price has been unjustifiably increased? One thing for sure, the water price is unjustifiably increased. How do you go and catch people for increasing price unjustifiably? And then you're going to tell the government. So what is the government going to do? What has the government done in the past? Nothing. This is called what? Only water, only words, no substance. Then another day, I think, another minister said, oh, actually we want to tell you, but we cannot tell you because of commercial sensibilities. So what is the meaning of commercial sensibilities? Will it mean that if you tell us, then we can see, oh, the money you pay to the companies to make and deliver water to us is so high that you are overpaying? Or will it show us that you are underpaying and therefore your price is so high that you are making more profits? You know, we are one of the most expensive countries in the world for water price after adjusting PPP, purchasing power parity. You know the price of water in Hong Kong and Taiwan? Singapore is a few times more expensive than Hong Kong and Taiwan. So back to this. 3 ministers, 3 clarifications to justify the water price increase do not hold water. So the next minister came and said, okay, you know, we have to spend a lot of money on sewage development, you know. That's why we need to increase your water by 30%. Hello, I'm 63 years old. To my living memory, I've never heard anybody tell us in parliament, any media tell us ever that the price of water has to pay for sewage development. This is called something new, is it? Another reason, don't hold water one. Finally, the next minister got some number come out, you know. Okay? You see, it's so difficult to get the data and the statistics from the government. Budget delivery, kosong. First minister, kosong. Second minister, kosong. Third minister, kosong. Like bola, football, 3-0, that means kelong lah. So finally the number come out. Hey, you know every year we spend about 430 million on water infrastructure. Okay, 430 million on water infrastructure. So that's why we're going to charge you more. The PUB's profits last year was $167 million. The water conservation tax in the last financial year was $192 million. You add the GST, 40 million. You add the tax on PUB's profits, 20 million. They all add up to 400 million. So, this is the bottom line, the most important part of my speech today. I estimate the government is making from water over $400 million a year. Are you very happy, Singaporeans? If you are, take a drink. If you're not, go take a pee. But that's not all. Because the minister went on to say, okay, we spend 430 million a year, right? Going forward, we're going to spend even more money. We're going to spend 800 million a year for the next 5 years. So 430 a year, last few years. Next 5 years, 800. Wow, got to spend $370 million more. You know, despite spending all this money, 430 million a year, 7 billion last 15 years. The budget surplus for last year alone was $5.2 billion. So what is this 401 million? Peanuts! Right? If next year the budget surplus is going to be another 5.2 billion, what is the extra 370 million? You know, 5.2 million is already a lot, right? Compared to 400 million. But that's not all. Because in Singapore, when we show the budget numbers, we will charge off transfers to trust and endowment funds as a one-time lump sum expenditure. Under IMF fiscal reporting guidelines, you cannot transfer the lump sum as expenditure because you are transferring, say, a few billion. Every year you're only using 4% of the money to spend. That one should not be counted as an expenditure. So if you follow IMF fiscal reporting guidelines, you add last year's transfers to trust and endowment funds of 3.6 billion, your actual budget surplus last year maybe 8.8 billion. So government collects so much money from you and still want to collect more money from you. What a caring government we have. Don't you think so? Right? What a caring government we have. Our worst economic downturn, increased water lah, increased S&CC lah, increased childcare fees lah, increased parking fees lah. Please don't continue to be so caring, government of Singapore. I'm talking about water, but I'm going to cite another example to illustrate to you what I call the mother of all our problems. You see the 30% increase, right? It's just it's not a symptom, no, right? It's an indication of how bad the whole system is. I'm going to use this example, then I'm going to explain to you. Yesterday, you saw the exchange in Parliament. The health minister say, "Oh, we don't make money on drugs. Drugs are charged on a not-for-profit basis. All we do is to add a margin to cover operation and overheads." So what is the minister telling you? Yeah, they don't make money on drugs, but don't spend any money at all because they cover the costs, including operations and overhead costs. Bottom line, this is the problem. We have been living it for too long. Everything that the government does, they want to make money. Many countries spend money on water, we make money. Most, if not all countries, spend money on healthcare, we make money. You know, you look at the latest CPF annual report for 2015. Total government healthcare spending, 9.8 billion. Total Medisave top-ups, Medisave grants to newborns, withdrawals from Medisave for medical expenses, withdrawals from Medisave to pay for insurance premiums. You add all these together, including total government healthcare spending, the number comes up to $13.2 billion. What does that mean? That means 1 year, what the government spend and all the money you take out from Medisave is 13.2 billion. But how much does the government collect every year from Medisave? The annual contribution to Medisave plus the interest on our Medisave balances, I estimate, is at least more than 13.2 million. In other words, from a cash flow perspective, the government collects more money than it spends on healthcare. In other words, on a cash flow basis, the government does not spend a single cent on healthcare, and now they're not going to spend a single cent on water, and they're also not spending a single cent on HDB, and they're also not spending a single cent on CPF. So, I'm angry, I need a drink. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Leong has given us a very succinct but really